Mysticism in Islam is called tasawwuf. Tasawwuf is an Arabic word which means to dress in wool. This is because early Muslim saints or Sufis dressed themselves in wool. In West, tasawwuf is called Sufism and those who practice it are called Sufis. A Sufi is also called Darwish and a Fakir. Both words mean poor. This is for the reason that early Sufis were ascetic and lived in poverty by choice. Roots of Sufism include both Islamic sources and non-Islamic sources. Non-Islamic sources include Neoplatonism, Christianity, Judaism, Zoroastrianism, and Hinduism. The rise of Islam occurred in 7th century in Arabian Peninsula, and Islam spread quickly across the globe, including Persia, Syria, India, and North Africa. Sufis interacted with local religions in the conquered territories, particularly Hinduism, Zoroastrianism, and Christianity, and they borrowed different ideas from those religions. As a result, different Sufi orders came into being. Although there are many points of differences and disagreements among different Sufi orders, however, there are some fundamental notions which run through Sufism. The first notion is disinterested love of God, that is, love of God without hope for paradise and without fear of hell. Sufis use different ways to express their love for God. These include dance, music, and above all, poetry. The orthodox Muslims, however, criticize Sufis for expressing their love of God through music and dance in particular. For them, love of God means simply obedience to God, and in favor of or in support of their stance, they quote different Quranic verses. For example, the Quran says, "Obey Allah and obey His Messenger." The second notion is tawakkul, which means absolute trust in God and having no thought of the morrow. For example, the Quran says, "And whosoever puts his trust in Allah, then He will suffice him." The third and one of the key notions is the relationship between Haqq and Khalq. Haqq means truth or the creator, and Khalq means the world. Now there are two views about the relationship between the creator and the world. The first view is called Wahdatul Wajud. It is also called Monism and Pantheism. According to this view, God and man are different aspects of the same reality. According to Wahdatul Wajud, all creatures before they came into the world were ideas in the mind of God or essences. Essences have no independent existence, but they are eternal like God. World is a manifestation of God and creation is actualization of essences. So there is only one real existence, that is God, but many essences. In favor of or in support of their stance, Wahdatul Wajud also refer to different verses of the Quran. For example, the Quran says, "To God belong the east and the west. Whithersoever you turn, there is the presence of God." But it cannot be denied that Neoplatonism and Hinduism exercise profound impact on the development of Wahdatul Wajud. A very famous exponent and early exponent of Wahdatul Wajud philosophy was Mansur al-Hallaj, who was executed for famously proclaiming Anal Haq, that is, I am the truth or I am God. Another key exponent of Wahdatul Wajud was Ibn Arabi. For him, world is an emanation from God who is present in things in reality. In India, Mughal prince Dara Shikoh was also an exponent of Wahdatul Wajud. He was executed by his younger brother and the new emperor Aurangzeb Alamgir, who was an orthodox, in the bloody war of succession. The second view about the relationship between the creator and the world is called Wahdatul Shaud, or unity of vision. This view is closer to orthodox Muslims. There are three main pillars of Wahdatul Shaud philosophy. First, that God and man are substantially different. Number two, God is present in things by his knowledge and not in reality. And number three, the unity between the two, that is, God and the creature, is only a subjective experience and doesn't correspond to objectivity. True foremost exponent of Wahdatul Shaud were Abu Hamid al-Ghazali, who lived in Baghdad, and Ahmad Sirhindi, who lived in India. The fourth key notion of Sufism is Fana and Baka. Fana means annihilation, and Baka means immortality or everlasting life. According to Sufis, before his birth, the Sufi was an idea in the mind of God. Once born, he is thrown into the imperfect world of matter and desire. The goal of mystic experience is to annihilate the individual self and take over qualities of God. After that, the Sufi will again become an idea in the mind of God, which is called Fana fil Allah, that is, annihilation in God, leading to Baka, or everlasting life in God. So, in Fana, existence passes away, but essence survives, and Baka is of essence, not of existence. The famous Urdu poet Mirza Ghalib, who is easily the greatest poet that India has produced, and who also was an exponent of Wahdatul Wajud, once famously stated, "When there was nothing, God existed. If nothing existed, then God would exist. If I were not born, then I would be part of God." The fifth notion is primacy of intuition, that is, direct insight into reality, or what is in the West called knowledge by acquaintance. That is the reason Sufis belittle sense perception and reason, and for which they are often criticized by the orthodox Muslims. Master disciple relationship is also a key feature of Sufism. The master is called Sheikh, Peer, or Murshid, while disciple is called Murid. Disciple owes the master unconditional and complete allegiance. It is said that a disciple should be in the hands of the master like a corpse in the hand of the washer. Sufism has four major stages: Sharia, Tariqa, Marfa, and Hakika. These four stages are also called doors through which a Sufi has to pass through if he has to achieve or attain the knowledge of truth or reality. The first door is Sharia. In this stage, the initiate follows the mandatory Islamic rituals. When he passes through that stage, then enters the next stage or door, that is Tariqa. Here the seeker starts treading the Sufi path through meditation, prolonged silence, and other spiritual exercises. Then comes the third stage or door, that is Marifa. Here the Sufi gains inner knowledge or Gnosis, which guides him towards the truth. So here we can see the impact of Neoplatonism on Sufism. And the fourth and the final stage is Hakika. Here, the Sufi has direct insight into the truth or reality. There are also invisible grades or hierarchical order among Sufis. There are 40 Abdals. Here, if one Abdal dies, he is replaced with another. 7 Atwads, 3 Nukbas, and 1 Kutab. Kutab is the uncrowned king of the Sufi order. Now, the Sufi order can also be compared to hierarchical order in vogue among Roman Catholics. However, the key difference is that unlike the Roman Catholics, the Sufis do not reveal themselves. So no one knows who is the Kutab except a few people who he chooses to share his secret with. I trust you like this video. If that is the case, please subscribe to my channel Wisdom of Life. Thanks for your time.